Um, okay. Well, again, welcome to all of you being here. I hope you're enjoying this conference. A lot of people don't know that if they have a number 1 on their badge tag, that just means that it's your first conference. So I just thought I'd explain, because I've had so many people say, oh, what is this for? Is it my table number? So anyway, again, I'm connected with a local giving circle, women's giving circle of Howard County. I see one wonderful board member here, maybe more. I don't know. Thank you, Cheryl. Anyway, and I am very honored today to introduce my friend Faith Wachter, also from Howard County Women's Giving Circle. She is going to talk about social media bootcamp, create a strategic roadmap to transform your social presence. And we all know how critical this is in today's world. I think no matter what role you play in your circle, this is going to be an important thing. It's that social media. Faith is the owner of a Faith Wachter Consulting. It's a Maryland-based social media marketing agency. She helps small businesses and nonprofits level up their own social marketing presence. Faith has spent the bulk of her professional career working in the nonprofit world. A longest stint was 15 years at Maryland Public Television, well before the age of internet. She'll be talking to us today how to embrace the age of internet and to build a social media roadmap for your giving circle. Welcome here, Faith. Thank you.
Not that I'm too short for the podium. The podium doesn't fit me. And I'm going to be walking around because this is going to be an interactive and fun session. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Baltimore. How many of you first time in Baltimore? Anybody first time? Well, welcome. I hope you have a couple extra half day or day or so to walk around and get to know the Inner Harbor and Harbor East. This is a really nice neighborhood downtown. But welcome. Glad you're here. If you're watching us online, this is one of the sessions that we're streaming. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for making us part of your day. My name is Faith Wachter. As Barb said, I'm a social media marketing consultant. I own my own social media marketing agency. We help all of our clients elevate what they do on their social media with clarity and with purpose. Clarity and purpose. Those are 2 words that I hope by noon today, y'all are going to be using that when you're talking about your social media. Clarity and purpose. So got a lot of stuff to talk about today. Little bit of background. Here's our objectives. I started my agency in 2015, so 8 years ago, but I've been in the social media marketing world since 2007. So I've seen a thing or two, can't unsee some things in social media. A lot has changed. It is an ever-changing industry. And if you're wondering why you're struggling with social media, it's because it's always changing. User habits change. Platforms change. So congratulations. I commend all of you for taking time out of your conference schedule to learn more about social media. This is something I do regularly, and I work in this industry, but it's always changing. You always have to keep up. So good for you for being here. Good for you for tuning in. If you're streaming at home, we got a lot to talk about today. This is a boot camp. Bootcamp. We use that word very intentionally because I'm going to be throwing a lot of information out at you. There's pens and papers, pens and notepads on each table. Some of you brought laptops. You will be taking notes for sure. But this is also a discussion. This is not a lecture. Who needs a lecture Monday morning? I sure don't. This is a discussion for all of you. Take this time to learn from the other people in the room because we're all doing different things on social. Some of you are just starting out. Some of you have been doing this for a few years and you're just really looking for other tips on how to improve. Either way, you're going to get the most out of this if you are fully engaged in the list of questions that I'm going to barrage you with over the next 45 minutes to an hour or so. But hopefully by the end of this, you're going to have a much better understanding of why you're on social. We're going to start that strategic roadmap that we've been promising you in all of the conference materials. You need that roadmap, and you'll get a much clearer idea of why a roadmap is important to you before noon today. And then takeaways. We all like good takeaways. I promise you at the end of this, your to-do list will be fairly full just from this session. All righty. Okay. So quick agenda. We're going to talk about the why, the how, the where, all of that. We're going to do that strategic roadmap for you. We're going to talk about next steps, because that's also good, because we want to take what we've learned and we want to move forward with it. So you always got to put a timeline next to it. And then I promise we will have time at the end for Q&A. I know you will have a lot of that. So let's get into this. First question, why? Why? Why be on social? Why are you on social media? Who wants to share? No wrong answers. I'm kidding. Why are you on social media? So people know we're here to connect. They know what we're doing. Anything else? Provide action items we're going to make other people do stuff for us, aren't we? Okay, I love that. Anything else to add? Anything else to add? Yes.
Provide information about our grantees.
Ooh, good one. All right, let's look at another good reason why. 72% of all American adults are on social media. That's nearly 3/4 of every single American adult on social. 3/4. That number is 60% worldwide, by the way, 60%. We're ahead of the curve. Of all American women, adult women, 54% are on social media, 54. More than half. That means if I meet an American woman on the street, they are most likely to be on social media. More than half. So what does this mean? It means your current donors are on social. It means your future donors are on social, right? It means your competitors are on social. Lots of competition for those donor dollars out there, right? Your competition is on social. And social media has been changing, as I said before. It's not the same that it was back in 2015 when I started my company 8 years ago. It's not even the same as it was a year ago, 2 years ago, pre-lockdown. How many of you, show of hands, used social media more while you were in lockdown? Be honest. Be honest. I know you did. You're all home. You're all home. You're online. Can't go out. You can't see anybody. You're all on your phones, right? You're sharing each other's Facebook posts. You're saying, hey, who knows where I can go to this? Who does carry out? Who's the small business I want to take care of this month? You are all doing it. 200% increase of social media usage worldwide during lockdown. 200%. That's a lot. 200% of anything is a lot. How many of you, again, show of hands, your social media usage habits post-lockdown are different? Are they different? How are they different? Using more, using less? 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 More? More. It's like an auction here. Okay, we got more. We got more. It's not the same. And that's just kind of underscoring my point. Social media usage changes almost on a daily basis. There's a new app. There's a new platform change. Instagram has a new thing on Reel. It's all different. You got to keep up. It's hard to keep up. But there are fundamentals that you can also maintain an even keel on. And once you got that in place, you're probably going to be in a good place with your own social media. So, okay. How many of you, again, show of hands, are on social media for personal entertainment? Personal entertainment. I'm just hanging out with my friends, just want to keep up with everybody's grandkids, my high school. So if you didn't raise your hand, are you not on social media? Not at all. Okay, you're the other half of all American adults. How many of you that did raise your hand, how many of you follow a brand, a business on social? Probably a lot of you. Okay. So there's a difference between using social media for your own personal entertainment versus marketing a brand on your social media. completely different strategies and tactics and tricks. And we're going to go through a few of those today, but it is not the same thing. I know many of you probably have younger people in your lives and you're looking at their Instagrams. They have 3,000 followers and they have 2,000 likes on every post. Those are all their friends, by the way. And there's all this unspoken code where, oh, if I post something, you got to like it. You got to like it right away. They don't even read the copy. They just, they might watch the video to see if they're in the video, but they're liking it. Doesn't work that way with a business, does it? You got to work for them likes, got to work for those video views, all of that stuff. It's all different. So businesses and brands use social media for a much different, they have lots of different goals in mind here. These are some of the more common ones. Increasing brand awareness. We want more people to know about us. Driving traffic to their website. Increasing customer engagement. You all are part of a giving circle or some sort of collective giving group. How would you market your brand, your giving circle on social media? We heard name recognition. We want more people to know about us. Of course you do. We want to drive donations. Yes, that's why we're all here. Drive donations. Maybe build that email list, that contact list, so that you can recruit new members and get more people involved. These are some of the marketing goals that you might want to consider if you haven't already for your social media marketing. Questions on any of this so far? All kind of basic. Even if you have a marketing background or not. These are all kind of basic things. Okay, so lots of really compelling reasons why you should be on social. We've talked about that already. All of these are mission critical to your brand. Not a lot of fluff here. This is one of the biggest reasons why businesses spend so much time and money on social media marketing, because this is stuff that can move the needle for your brand. But you know what? It doesn't just happen by itself. It's not just an easy boop and it's done, right? You need a plan. You need a plan. God, I wish this was, I'm looking at her and I'm like, oh, I wish it was that easy. Sadly, it is not. And you are here because we're going to try to make it easier for all of you when you go back and you try to do social for your giving circles. Boop, we love her. All right, so we're going to start, and here's where you're going to start taking notes, okay? You can discuss amongst your table if you like. I'm going to take you through the same list of questions that we do with our own clients when we create a social media strategy for them, okay? Don't worry about writing down the questions. Okay, you're all going to get these slides afterwards, I promise you. Yeah, and there are handouts and all of that after the fact you'll be getting them. But for today, focus mainly on your answer to the question, okay? And the first question sounds kind of basic and rudimentary, but it's so important because you base everything off of this. What's your value? What value does your giving circle bring to your community? Write it down. Write it down. What's the value? What is that thing that your giving circle does that nobody else does for your community? Write it down. Write it down. What is it? What is it? I'm going to give you a minute. I'm going to see if anybody would like to share what their value is. Probably lots of very similar values because they're all from giving circles or collective giving groups. Anybody want to share? What is your value? What is your value for your brand in your community? Yes. Transformational grants that encourage other organizations to give. Did I get that right? Did I get that right? That's your value. You encourage other organizations to give. That's the value that you bring. Anybody have anything different, slightly different? Little take on that? Yes.
We are educators who shine a spotlight on needs.
Oh, we are educators that shine a spotlight on needs in the community. That is the value that you bring to your community. One more value. One more value. Anyone want to share? Yes, ma'am.
I'd say our nonprofit partners.
Ooh, we lift up our nonprofit partners. That is a value for sure. What are your marketing goals for your giving circle? Have you thought about that? Have you thought about your marketing goals? We talked about that just a couple of slides ago. Things like increasing brand awareness, driving website traffic, increasing donations. Anybody want to add to that list? Yes. Marketing goals. Attracting new members. Yes. Expanding your circle. Expanding your base so that you can find new donors, new participants. Increasing brand awareness. That's what that is. Increasing brand awareness. Other marketing goals, just overall marketing goals, not necessarily your social media marketing goals. Other marketing goals? Connecting our members. Engaging members. Engagement is a really good word in the social media world. Yes. Ooh, diversify your membership base. All along the lines of recruitment, all the different kinds of people you want to recruit. Okay, good. You're all writing this down, right? This is important. Who is your primary audience? Who? Just your members? Prospective members, donors. Who are those prospective members and donors? Who are they? Women. All women? No, not all women. Not all. Wrong answer. That's the one wrong answer today. Not all women. If you are marketing to all women, you are marketing to nobody. You know how many people, how many bigger brands with huge marketing budgets are marketing to all women? Are you going to compete with them? Probably not. Probably not. Procter & Gamble, Kimberly-Clark. No way can you compete with them. You have to get super specific, like granular level, cellular specific. Who is your primary audience? Women. What kind of women? How old? How old? All ages? All ages. Infancy? Birth? Teenagers? Teenagers? Gen Z? College grads and up. So we're talking older Gen Z, millennials and up. Gen X and up. What about, where do they live? Where do they live? It's going to be different for everybody. Where do they live? Metro area, in our county, in our state. Write it down. 7 regions. Write it down. Write it down. Write it all down. What else about your primary audience? Think about your most recent new donor. Have that person in your mind's eye. Think about what brought them to you. What made them say, oh yeah, take my money. Here's my money. Keep me on your mailing list because I want to know about the next thing. Who is that person?
They trust us.
They trust you. Ooh.
What our values, that's what our mission is. Our mission speaks to them.
Your mission speaks to them. Something about what you do resonates with them. So they're probably civically minded, maybe? Civically minded. They're looking out for their neighbor. They want to raise up their community. They're new to the community and they want to probably take a bigger part, be more active in your community. Yes. What else do they do? I saw your hand go up. They want to get in front of our members. Say a little bit more. Sponsors. Yeah, definitely. We like sponsors. Sponsors are good. Sponsors have money. We like sponsors. Yes. Leveraging their dot. Talk more about who that person is. Is it just your neighbor down the street that wants to leverage your dollars, or who is it? Who is it? Uh-huh.
But I also think that
Corporate sponsors. So if it's the woman down the street, she probably gives to a lot of other organizations in the community, right? She's probably philanthropically active and she wants to maximize use of her donation. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. This is true with you. Write it down, add it to your list. This is all good stuff. Saw another hand go up. Whose hand went up? Somebody's hand went up? No? We good? We're good. Okay. You got that person in your mind? That person that wants to leverage their donation, very philanthropically active, lives within the 7 cities district, all the other stuff I heard, the possible corporate sponsor. What are their pain points? What keeps them up at night? What are they like? I wish I knew what to do about this. I wish I knew who I could give my money to leverage the value of my money for the biggest bang in my community. What's that pain point? What's that pain point that's keeping them up? Leveraging your money. Yeah, that's one thing. I'm seeing somebody kind of waving hands. Pain point. What keeps them up at night? What are they looking for? What are they looking for? Yes. Reassurance about what? That you can give them what they want. So they want to give their money. They are looking for a reputable, trustworthy organization that they can hand their money over to. That's a great pain point. If you didn't already write that down, write that down. Yes.
They're concerned about their community.
They're concerned, and keep going with that, because that's not necessarily a pain point. That's more of a observation. What keeps them up? What is it about that community that they live in?
Well, there are a lot of issues, and they'd like to be involved in healthcare.
So they're looking for opportunities that they can become active in improving their community. That's a pain point. How can I do this? How can I make a difference? Yes. Time constraints.
So let's say someone wants to give to 7 different organizations that support women. They don't have time to go research each one, figure out how much to give to each one. They give to our giving circle, let our grants committee.
They want easy. They want the easy button. They want the easy and effective transformative button. The easy button, and what is it? Staples, like boop, hit the easy button. That's what they're looking for. Ooh, that's a good one. Write that down. Easy button. Easy button. They want the easy button. What social media marketing platforms are they on? Facebook. What else? LinkedIn. What else? Instagram. What else? YouTube. We heard Facebook. Snapchat. Not so much anymore. Not so much. Yeah, don't say that in front of a young person. Who? That's more of an e-commerce platform versus a social media. Social, by the way, definition for social media, it's a two-way conversation or more. So a website is not a two-way conversation because it's just outward information, unless you've got comments active on your blog pages, which that's a whole other thing. E-commerce can be considered transactional versus social. Question. Yes. Yes. It's more of a messaging platform. Yes. Grapevine. I'm sorry. Competitor to.
There's different level of giving and they're full giving organizations.
So is anybody else on Grapevine? Anybody else? A couple of you? Okay. So I wouldn't even call them a competitor. They're just somebody else in the space and could. Right. So admittedly, I have a limited understanding of what Grapevine is, and I'm going to say that I'm feeling like it's more of an e-commerce type of platform that people are giving and donating. It's a commerce platform. It's an online tool for in messaging too. Okay. For today, we're going to call it social media. That's just my official word. Yes, ma'am. Please. Great. Oh, yes.
Are able to use their publisher and figure with your members, if you're able to abstract and use like a virtual.
I'm calling it. It's a social media platform. I'm just calling it. Grapevine is. Yes. Anything else? Yes. What's that? Hi, Grapevine. Well, you've got some fans in here. Yeah, that's Grapevine. That's awesome.
Yeah, I really did a wonderful job, but we have messaging with different platforms, so it's like.
Yeah, I thought it was all the messaging. Yeah, okay.
we have lots of social media integration, so you can easily share messages out to your social media platform.
We're calling it a social
Facebook,
platform.
and
Yes,
other. So
yes.
just to clarify, happy to chat more about it.
Grapevine, add it to your list if that's what you think your donors are on. Because the question is, what social media platforms are they on? I heard somebody say college age and up. College age and up, is that an audience of yours? No, kind of. Somebody raised their hand. Somebody added that in, college age and up. If so, are you on TikTok? Might want to consider that if that is truly your target audience. Okay, so you got a good list going down, right? Flip the page because we got some more. What content sources do you have available to you? Sources are anything that you can build social media posts from. They could be a blog on your website, could be your email marketing, your newsletters, your e-blasts. It's probably an in-person event, a virtual event where you can get photos. You can talk about the speakers at your event. Get people to buy tickets and go to your event. Yes. Content from your partners too, right? Content sources. They're all really good content sources. Other sources of content. Other sources. This is really important. This one's really important. Okay, that's a pretty good list. We can talk about some more later. What's your current staffing capability? I'm smiling because I've been there. Raise your hand if you're that person for your organization that does a certain, oh God, keep your hand up if that is the only thing that you have to do for your organization. Probably not. Yeah, I've been that one-man team. I've been there. If you didn't raise your hand, write down who that person is. Oh my God, we don't have any. Write that down. Write that down. Your current staffing capability. Yeah, boop, it doesn't just happen magically. Somebody actually has to do the work. We'll talk about that a little bit more. Okay, how are you going to measure success or progress? KPI, key performance indicators. This is a marketing term. KPIs, key performance indicators. How are you going to know that you've made progress towards your goals? Go back to what your goals were. If it was increasing your membership, increasing the diversity of your membership, getting more people on your email newsletter, how are you going to figure that out? How are you going to know? How are you going to know if you have more web traffic to your site? Yes, how are you going to know?
There's a place where you can go look and see what the traffic.
There is a place, and it's called Google Analytics for most of you. It's probably going to be something else if you have a different website. Yes.
And you can look and see how many people have shared,
Yes.
how many people have, see how many people have responded.
Yes. All of these social media platforms that we talked about, they all have their own onboard analytics where you can see how many people shared and liked and commented. Shares are really great. Shares are gold in the social media world. But write down with your goals, how are you going to measure your goals? Progress towards your goals. Think about that. It's great to have goals, but how do you know that you've met them? What are you going to look at? What are those things that you're going to measure? Okay, I'm going to keep going because we've got time here. How does your social media complement all the other efforts that you do for marketing for your giving circle? Does it? Does it? I heard no. Does anybody's organization actively align all of their marketing efforts together? Raise your hand. Anybody? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Couple of you. Not even half of you. Not even half of you. Yeah. Quick tip. This is the stuff to add to the to-do list. Make sure all of your stuff is aligned. All of your marketing stuff has got to be aligned. Oh, I love this question. Do you have a budget? I'll stop right there. Do you have a budget for paid content, paid social media content, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads? Do you have a budget? Who does? Anybody here? Oh, a couple of you. Awesome. Add it to the to-do list. You got to find money in your budget for this. Got to find money for your budget in this. And if you do have a budget, write down the number. Because again, this is kind of like benchmarking right now. Write down the number, ballpark. One thing that we also do when we create a social media roadmap, a strategic roadmap for our clients, we take them through a SWOT analysis. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, SWOT. So S, what are your strengths? Different from your value. Different from your value. Value is one of the first questions. What are your strengths? Internal strengths. Yes.
So you talk about what makes it.
That means, sorry, the question was, she's asking for more context on what do I mean about a paid social media budget? That refers specifically to ad spend. Ad spend. If you are running ads on your Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, all of those ad platforms ask you to put money behind that. They don't run them for free. You need to have a budget. $200 a month, $2,000 a month, whatever that is. It's all going to be based on your goals. This is a whole other thing. Facebook ads is a whole other thing. But just for the context to answer the question, that's specifically for ad spend on social platforms. Yes.
Does that include boost on Facebook?
Boosted posts are paid social. Yes,
That's
correct.
so
It is cheap to do. It's not always the best option
okay.
because you have limited targeting. It's not the best use of your money. Sure, you can boost something for $25. Have you gotten anything out of that? Probably not, because you're not able to really hyper target it. Facebook ads can be a really powerful tool for especially finding those new donors, but not through a boosted post. This is a whole other thing, honey. All right, I'll see if I can add a Facebook link to our slides. So when you get it, you have other resources you can go to. Because we just don't even got time today. Yes, you had a question?
On our Facebook site, or is it us posting ads with other?
So your ads, it's kind of both. Your page, you each have a business page for your giving circle. Yes. Any brand account, any business account, like your giving circle, can run promoted content on that platform, on the Facebook platform. You need to target an audience. You need to delineate who do you want to see this ad that you're going to put money behind. Remember I talked about earlier, who's your primary audience? If you put all women in the Tri-County area, holy crap, that's going to be millions of women. But that may not be the women that you want to reach. So this is why boosted posts aren't as effective, because that's the kind of thing that they want. It's not, you're going to spend $25. You're going to blow $25 reaching women who are like, I don't know. I don't care. I don't got no money. Why do they want money from me? Next. Not a good use of your money. When you have delineated the audience, say it's women age 45 and up, live in the Tri-County area, homeowner, parent, grandparent, sandwich generation. You have all of these parameters, and you put that into Ads Manager. By the way, you can't do this in when you boost a post. You have to go into Facebook Ads Manager. Whole other course, I'm telling you. Anyway, only those people will see your posts. Your boosted post, your advertised post, your promoted post. If you're a man, you don't see it because you've delineated, I want women 45 and up, homeowner, parent, all the things. And that's why ads can be super effective at reaching new people. So yes, if I follow you, I live in your tri-state area, I meet all of your parameters, but I'm also a member of your giving circle. Yeah, I'm going to see your thing. But only because I meet all those parameters. Okay, I'm sorry. We got to go back. Unique strengths. We're doing the SWOT analysis. What could be a strength? You have really great leadership. You have really strong volunteer leadership. You have a really diverse membership. They are actively looking for reasons to give. What other strengths might you have? What other strengths?
Excellent education program.
Excellent educational programs. That's a strength. Membership. Say more. that people can target? You're talking about one of your strengths is your membership, the diversity of your membership. Diversity of your membership. That's a great strength. Other strengths of your giving circle. Yes. We that's a strength. We've got a lot of money to give away.
Success over time.
Success over, you have a track record. You have a really good track record. One more strength. Anyone got a strength? Yes. A strong brand in the community. So this is somebody that doesn't necessarily need to increase her brand awareness because she got it. She got brand awareness. All right, let's talk about your weaknesses. These are your internal weaknesses. This is like, I don't have somebody to manage my social. We don't have a budget. That's a weakness. Another weakness, we're all volunteer run. While that's great, volunteers are volunteers. And you know, a lot of nonprofits are run on the passion of volunteers, and that can get really old. You can burn out your volunteers. Other weaknesses. Yes.
We're all white women over 70 years old.
I'm sorry. Do better. Just do better. I'm sorry. One of your weaknesses is that your organization is not as diverse as you would hope it to be. Okay. Weakness? Write it down. Write it down. We're all being real here. Margaret, you had your hand up. Margaret, you had your hand up. That was the same thing too. One more weakness. Somebody wants to share your deepest, darkest secret with us. One more weakness. Funding. Funding could be a weakness. Well, that's more external. We'll talk about that in a sec. So SWO, for opportunity. What are those upcoming opportunities that you're like, oh man, if we had our shit together on social, we would rock that thing. We'd totally rock it. What is that upcoming opportunity? Please say Giving Tuesday. If you haven't already, by the way, running out of time. Beyond Giving Tuesday, what are those other opportunities? What's that? Youth, say more. Younger donors. That whole audience is an opportunity that you would like to cultivate. Ooh, good one. Other opportunities coming up? Year-end giving, perhaps? Yes. November 15th is National Philanthropy Day. I can't remember the date, but in March, International Day of the Woman. That's coming up. I bet you get a lot of stuff planned for that. Wouldn't that be great if your social media act was in gear for that? Wouldn't that be cool? Yes. Uh-huh.
Where our recipients for that year are. It's an exciting event.
Once a year? Once a year. Write the date. Write the date. You probably have other events, other fundraising events. She has an awards event, an annual awards event. Mm-hmm.
Tell our story.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, actually, we're not telling the story. Our recipients
You're telling the story. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Yes.
Leadership change.
Leadership.
Announce to the community who your new leaders are.
Wouldn't it be great if your social audience was primed for that? They know what's coming. This is going to be awesome. Yes.
Opportunities to learn how to become leaders or learn about philanthropy.
Say more about that. How is that an opportunity for you, for your giving circle? Do you offer that opportunity?
Offer that opportunity.
Uh-huh. In an event, in an online training?
In an event.
Uh-huh. Is this something you're planning or would be nice or would be nice? Write it down. Write it down. Opportunities are what they are. You know, either you're doing them or you're planning them. Potential threats or challenges to your giving circle. What can get in your way of your goals? What can get in the way of your goals? Tax laws, local tax laws change. What else? How about the economy? People are hanging on to their money. I just don't have an extra $20 to give. I just don't. Would love to help you, but I can't. Would love to join you. Times are tough. I'm sorry, I can't. Not this year. That's a threat. Yes.
Lack of brand awareness.
Yeah, we don't know who you are. Why would I give to you? I don't know who you are. You don't look like me. Why would I give to you? I don't even know who you serve. Lack of brand awareness. Yes. Loss of that churn, right? The churn of volunteers because you burned them out. You burned them out. You were running the organization on your passion. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Air conditioning, HVAC. And help me if I got this right. They don't get, so potential donors want to make the decision of where their money goes. They don't want to leave it up to you in your giving circle. They want to decide. They might have their own pet project, pet organization. What are your members? Oh. And so they're like, heck with this. I'm just going to do it on my own. Whoa. Yeah. Maybe they just don't like your model. They don't like your giving model. They want to do it on their own. Write it down. Write it down. Do y'all see what we're doing here? We're doing a really deep dive into your business model and into your brand. This is what we do with all of our clients that we create strategic roadmaps for. You have to have a really deep understanding of not just your audience and the people you're trying to attract, but your organization. And not just about, I know we have 300 members and we donated 600,000 in fiscal 23, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, very nice. But now we're getting into a completely other plane of organization, of your organization here, okay? This is about how your organization works and functions. This is about looking down the line to see what's coming up. How are we going to pivot? Pivot, remember that word? Kind of overused. But anyway, so yeah, SWOT. SWOT analysis can be really effective that way. Okay, so now we've talked about, I've taken down the list of questions. We're starting to like build a foundation of who our organization is, what some of our strengths and weaknesses are, what some of our opportunities and threats are, where are some areas that are good for growth and why. You might have a better clear of your who you're trying to reach. Now we got to get down to putting the roadmap to work, okay? We'll get the roadmap as well. But before we even start thinking about how do we do this, you have to do an audit of what you're currently doing on social media. What you're currently doing. Is there anybody here that doesn't currently have a social media presence? It's okay. You don't, for your organization. For the organization. Okay, so everybody's in here because your organization is on social. Okay, here's what you got to do. You got to go back. You got to inventory. This is going to be a separate. A lot of these are going to be yes or no's or to-do lists, to-do list items. Take an inventory of every single account out there that has your Giving Circle brand attached to it. Every single one. And yes, including the one that very well-meaning volunteer started 3 years ago, but then she left and she didn't give anybody the admin access to it. So it's just out there floating and nobody can do anything about that. Add it to the inventory list. You got to do something about that. You got to, by the way, you can merge pages. That can happen. Inventory all the accounts, all the logins, so that shit doesn't happen again. All the login information. All the list of admins, who has access to that page as of today? What are your follower counts as of today, November 6th, 2023? Write them all down. Write them all down. You don't need to do this now. This is checklist. This is stuff to add to your to-do list if you haven't already done this. Go back to your website. Do you have those follow us buttons? Those little icons? That's, that link to your Facebook, to your Instagram, to your LinkedIn, to your TikTok. If you don't have them, get them on there. Most people will put them at the footer of their website, so it's always there at every page, or they'll put them on the top. Also, make sure you have these follow us buttons in your email newsletters and your email blasts that you put out. You got to make sure people know how to follow you on social. I'm talking about marketing goals, marketing priorities. What are your top three? Top three. Talked about a lot. Prioritize now. Hard stuff. What are your top 3? Write them down. I'm not going to check your work. Top 3. If you can't get 3, that's fine. 1 or 2 is really great. No more than 3 though. Top 3 marketing priorities, like brand awareness, increasing engagement, diversifying your membership, increasing donations. What are your top 3? Do you have a marketing strategy for content? Do you have a content marketing strategy? Yes or no? You probably do or you don't. Have you thought about a content marketing strategy? Do you know what one is? You need a strategy. You need a plan on how you're going to distribute all the content that you create, not just on social, on your blog, on your e-blasts, on your newsletters, on your in-person events. That's a content marketing strategy. You either have it or you don't. Describe your current social media team. All right, you've already kind of done this before. If you're just 1, you're just 1. If you're 0, you're 0. But now you know. Now you know. You're going to walk out of here, you're like, oh, man, really? We got to do something about this. Now you're like, okay, we got all our ducks in the row. Now what? What do we do now? I got all this stuff. She's been asking me all these questions. By the way, when you get these slides, I highly recommend doing this with your team back at home. Go through the whole thing. I can guarantee your answers are not going to all be the same. And won't that be eye-opening? But super important for everybody to have buy-in on all the ideal audience stuff, all the strategic stuff. It'll make your social media marketing so much better because you all have the same understanding about your organization. Okay, so let's get down to it. Because you're going to now start to develop your roadmap. Your roadmap is going to consist of a content calendar. A content calendar. Yes, it can be the white thing on the board, the wipe off board. It can be a paper calendar. It can be an Excel spreadsheet. It could be a calendar that you find within your content scheduling software. Like if you use a Hootsuite or Sprout, or might even use Meta Business Suite. But you need something that maps out all of your content 1 month, at least 1 month in advance. Remember all those opportunities that you said coming up? Oh, we've got this annual awards event. We've got all these other events coming up. National Philanthropy Day, International Day, all these dates. Put them in a calendar. Put them in a calendar, central calendar. Make sure a lot of people have access to it so they can see what you're doing, what you're planning. What are your content buckets? Buckets, your pillars, your thematic topics, the big thematic topics that you are going to create content on. What are those buckets? You got to have at least 3. Here's your 3 basic ones. Your organization, about you. That's number 1. Big content bucket. You got to be posting stuff about who you are, who works with you. What's the mission of your organization? Who do you serve? All the opportunities, your vision, your values. We talked about what's your value, what's your innate value. That all goes in bucket number 1. Bucket number 2, that's going to be the people that you serve, the problem that you solve. Remember we talked about pain points? How do you solve that pain point? Got to have a pain point bucket. Why is a pain point bucket important? Any guesses there? Why is it important? It needs attention, but why is it important for your content to talk about pain points?
Shows results.
Shows results?
What we're trying to reach and connect with us.
Yes.
What we solve.
The whole reason we had that conversation about what keeps them up at night, we want our potential audience to say, oh, she gets me. Oh my God, they get me. I'm totally going to give to them. That's me. That resonates with me. That's why you need a pain point bucket. You need a pain point bucket. You also need a bucket for external stuff, and that includes your partners, your events, your donor recipients. Sure, your donors as well. So those 3 basic buckets you should have about you, pain points, and the external stuff. Your partners, your events, your donors, your donor recipients. 3 content buckets. There might be a 4th. There might be a 5th. Yes.
On the balance between those 3, or allocation of content in those 3.
What were your goals for social media marketing? That's how I'd answer that question. Go back to your goals. Yeah. So if your goals were about increasing brand awareness, I would lean hard into your about bucket. I would lean really hard. But also into, well, so maybe you know about your audience that they're really looking to maximize their dollars. They want to make sure if I give one donation, it's going to help the most people. So maybe you talk more about the external stuff. Exactly. Exactly. Note about that. Think about what your call to action is as well. Your call to action is CTA. Whenever you create a piece of content, there should be some invitation for your user to do something. It could be as simple as comment below if you agree with this, or like this post if you're in the same boat with us. Like this post if you're coming to our event. Share this with a friend. Tag a person that you're going to bring to this event. Go to our website to learn more. Go to this link to donate. Those are all calls to action. Yes. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you. Yeah. So I'm not saying shame your members, but yeah, kind of do that. Kind of sometimes, not everybody is going to be comfortable doing stuff on social. Sometimes you have to lead them and hold their hand. And you say in your email news blast, share this on your Facebook. And you give them a quick link so it's easy to do. Or you give them a picture. Share this picture to your Facebook. Share it with a friend. Help us get more participation in blah, 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 whatever you're trying to do. Sometimes you have to tell people how to. I know. Your leadership, your board leadership, they should all be sharing your stuff. All of them. And if they're not, shame on them. But you have to keep saying it. You have to keep reminding them, because not for everybody is social media an automatic thing. I mean, yeah, sure. Most of us in this room probably pick up our phones as soon as the alarm goes off in the morning before you even get out of bed, right? You look at your phone. Look at your phone. I know. I'm looking at me. Yes. Yes. You can list that you're a volunteer in your LinkedIn portfolio. Yeah, that's great. That is good. That's a very passive thing to do. Yes, but it's good. Sharing the content that your Giving Circles LinkedIn company page puts out is even better. Even better. Yes. All right. So we're talking about LinkedIn profiles. By the way, all these questions are fine. I just got to give you a heads up. We're running out of time and we're not quite done with all these slides. LinkedIn is a whole other thing. Yes. So the question was, is it a good thing if I list in my LinkedIn personal profile, not my company page, my personal profile, that I am a volunteer with this Giving Circle or a member? Sure. Absolutely. Even better, level this one up. Start sharing the content that your Giving Circle puts out on their company page. So I'm not just a passive volunteer. I'm not just listening. I'm actually helping to spread the word. I'm a brand ambassador. That's another thing too. How do you get people to share? Incentivize it. Incentivize it. You share this, we're going to send you this. You're going to get invited to this. Doesn't have to cost anything, but give people a reason to share it. Give people a reason to share it. Incentivize it. Okay. Content buckets. Content creation checklist. What do you need? Now that you know what you have to promote and who you're going to promote it to and what you're going to say about it and all the partners you're going to tag in those posts, what do you need to create the actual post? Do I need a nice headshot of my speakers? Do I need to know, do I need to send a photographer to the event? Maybe I have to send a videographer. Maybe I have to hire somebody. I got to figure that out. What do I need? Do I need a graphic designer to create a logo or a template so that all my Instagram posts look pretty? So my feed looks pretty? What is that? What do you need? Do you need to hook up with the content writer, the copywriter for your organization that writes all of your blogs? Maybe I have to talk to them every month to find out what that topic is so that I can align my social content on what the blog's going to be like that month. What do you need? That's got to be a list that you have right next to your content calendar. So the content calendar is like the what and the when, because you've got the timeline in there. And the creation checklist is the how you're going to get it done. Right? Y'all still with me? We've been talking about a team. Sure, one person can do this, but God bless them. I've been that person. This is really tough. This is really tough to do. And honestly, if you leave this all to one person, they're probably not doing it as well as other people can be if they had a team. You need a team. At the basic level, this is what you need. Basic level, graphic designer, a photographer, and a videographer. Those are not always one person. Not always one person. Ask them. You need someone that's going to put all of this together and create beautiful posts and research all the hashtags and use all the right hashtags and follow all the accounts. That's a content creator. Someone that's going to put all that together. You need someone that's going to supervise all of your social media content. Make sure it's aligned with all of your other marketing efforts, all the other tools in your digital marketing. You need an account manager. Basic here. You want to level up from here? Find somebody that knows how to do social media strategy, kind of like what we're doing here, but more in depth and more full-time. Find a strategist, find a specialist in paid content, somebody who knows how to run Facebook ads for you, that knows how to create all of those audiences and knows how to run all those different kinds of ads. If you're on TikTok, I am not suggesting you be on TikTok unless that is your ideal audience, and that tends to skew younger, Gen Z millennials. If you're on TikTok, not should you be, if you're on TikTok, you need a spokesperson, you need a face that is comfortable being on video a lot. That's what works on TikTok, a lot. If you don't worry about it. Next slide. Okay, so you're all like, we don't have the budget for an Avenger type of social media team. Not many people do. Not many nonprofits do. It's okay. This is all aspirational. It's all right. Do what you can. But now you have a sense of this is who I need to make this work. Okay? All right. Looking ahead. This is more about the when as well and the how. Okay? We talked about how are you going to measure progress, and that all of these social media platforms have onboard analytics. Check them out. Start writing them down, start tracking them, start looking at them every month, every quarter. Track your progress over time. So you could say, oh, look what we did in November. How do we get that done? How do we do that again in December? Or December wasn't so good. How do we bump up what we do in January so we don't have another December? You got to track your performance over time. That includes your website traffic too. Go back to those KPIs, those key performance indicators. What were your key performance indicators? How were you going to track those goals? Your progress towards your goals. What were your KPIs? Measure them again over time. Here's another thing that not enough people do. Creep on your competition. Creep on them. Follow them. Like them. Comment on them. Share their stuff. Tag them. Make them like uncomfortable. No, not really uncomfortable, but say, hey, I'm here. We're here too. We're all part of the 7-district giving community, whatever. You're all in this together, right? Don't be afraid of engaging on your competition's content. If they're worth their salt and they got a team behind them, they're going to be commenting on your stuff too. Hey, look at that. You've just expanded your reach on social because you've gotten another organization, your competitor, to interact with your content. Learn from your competition. See what they're doing. See what's successful for them. Ooh, they did that really cool video, that really cool reel. Look how many views they got. That's awesome. Steal from them. See how you can adapt. How can you adapt that format to what you do? How can I find a young person to create that reel for me? Whatever that is, and I'll talk about that as kind of a throwaway remark, but learn from your competition, see what works for them, see what doesn't work for them, see if there's a way you can make that work for you. See what they're not doing They're not on this trend at all. We should be doing that. If we do that, if we come out with that first, we're going to beat them out. We're going to get a leg up on our competition. Okay. So lots of stuff here. I always leave a deep thoughts slide. Oh, thank you. Oh, hair and makeup is wonderful. I didn't do my hair and makeup that day, but thank you. But that's one of my favorite things to do is to sip a hot cup of coffee or tea or something. And contemplate the universe. Deep thoughts. We talked about a lot here today, and I do want to give you time for questions and all of that good stuff. We talked about, we talked about LinkedIn, which I didn't think we were going to go. And we even delved into ads, which, okay, this is all good. I never know what kinds of questions are going to come out of these kinds of presentations. So I wanted to take just 5 minutes to share some other FAQs that come up when I present to audiences similar to yours. And I did this throwaway comment just a second ago where I'm like, oh, find a young person to create that reel for you. I take that back. I'm dialing that back because youth is not a prerequisite for success on social. Let me say that again. Youth is not a prerequisite for success on social. What does that mean? You don't have to find a young person. You can do it. I'm of a certain age. I am not considered a young person. I am not a Gen Z. I am not a millennial. That narrows it down, right? Yeah. I'm a Gen Xer. I learned how to do social media. Back in 2007, I inherited social media, had no training in it whatsoever, did not major in marketing in college. Did not major in any of that stuff. Back in 2007, there was no social media major, digital marketing major. None of that existed. The whole marketing team got laid off from the company I was working for. And they had all these marketing tasks left to do, and they're dealing them out like a deck of cards. I got social because I was the youngest person in the room at the time. I had nobody to train me. They just laid them off. I had to learn on my own. Thankfully, there's lots of really great resources online where you can actually teach yourself how to do stuff online. I just happened to have a lot of fun with it. I got good with it. I was working for a public television station. I was doing Downton Abbey stuff on social. I mean, come on, that was just way fun. That was a lot of fun. That may not be where you are right now, but don't think that just because someone is young and they've got 3,000 followers that they know how to market your giving circle. They know how to get all of their friends to comment on their stuff, but they don't know how to find new friends online that are then going to do what you need them to do. That's marketing. That's a whole other thing. So youth is not a prerequisite. How many of you have been hearing about ChatGPT and AI and you're just like, oh my God, it's going to take over the world. It's okay, everyone, just breathe. Calm down. It's actually not a bad thing. Generative AI is what ChatGPT is. AI has been around for a long time. It's been around for a long time. You all type into Google search, that is a form of AI. Generative AI or ChatGPT or Magic Write on Canva, that takes it another step beyond write me a social media strategy or design a ballpoint pen for my organization. You can do this. You can put that into Google search and you'll come up with links that you can read about, and you can do this and you can come up with your own solution. Generative AI like ChatGPT will say, here's the pen. I've designed it for you. Here's the strategy. I've designed it for you. I do not recommend that you take whatever you've gotten from ChatGPT or any other generative AI software and cut and paste it and put it on your thing and put it on your website. It may not be exactly what you need it to be. It may not match your brand voice. It may not match your audience. Take and choose from it what makes sense for your purposes. Don't cut and paste. Do not cut and paste. ChatGPT, generative AI, really great for those blank page moments where you're like, I'm tired. I can't even think about where to start this. Put it in a Magic Write on Canva. See what it comes out with. Tweak it, change it, or delete it altogether. Change your prompt. Maybe it's something else. I want a blue pen. I want a blue pen with leather accents ballpoint, whatever. Make it more specific to you. That's where the power of generative AI is that you can ask very specific things and get a very specific kind of result based on what's already out there in the interwebs. That's what AI does. What generative AI does. Your hand was up. Yes. Okay. So this is good. So this goes back to my thing about youth is not a prerequisite. It doesn't mean you can't hire a young person. You can absolutely hire a young person to do this stuff. Make it the right one. Find somebody that has a marketing background, or maybe they're majoring in digital marketing or in graphic design. Somebody's got the skill set, not the following on Instagram or TikTok. Somebody who's got the technical skill set to do it. I don't care what age they are. That's where you start. Okay, good. We've got a 5-minute wrap up. So, and we're already into everybody else's questions. So any other questions, lob them out at me. This is your time. You got a social media expert in front of you. I saw your hand go up first. Yes. Find new members that are active on social and are just going to do it just because that's what they already do. Find new members. Totally serious. Find new members. Yes. Oh, that's a loaded question. Should your Facebook, Instagram? Yes. Yes. Okay. So 2 things. Should you connect your Facebook and your Instagram so the content flows from one to the other? Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Do it. It's easy. But hashtags don't work the same way they used to on Facebook. Take them off the Facebook version of the post. Keep those on Instagram. Use up to 30, but make them count. You're all local organizations. Make sure you're using geo-targeted hashtags. In general, yes, it's fine, but don't just set it as an auto post. You might have to resize things too, because the resolution and the framing size for Instagram is more square and a little bit taller. Facebook is wider. That's the other thing. I think it depends on the audience. Goes back to your audience. If your audience is more on Facebook, yeah, do Facebook Lives. Absolutely. Not so much on Instagram, don't bother. But Facebook Live, I would suggest for you. Yes. That's a good one. Yeah. More pictures of people. Pictures of people they always do much better than a static photo of anything else. Pictures of people where you can see their faces, because people are going to scroll through. Do carousel posts. Carousel posts are a single post with more than one piece of content attached to it. It's the one where you have to swipe to see everything in the post. That's a carousel post. And if you lead off with the very first picture of that post as a group picture, or a picture where people, the small groups of people, they're going to be like, oh, I see 5 dots under that first picture. There are 5 more pictures, 4 more pictures behind it. I'm going to keep swiping through. I want to see if I'm in there. I wonder if they took a picture. I wonder if my hair looked good that day. Like, this is what people do on carousel posts. Highly recommend that. Question. Yes. Yes. Algorithms love active accounts. How do you signal that you're an active account? Post frequently, a minimum of 4 times per week. Minimum. Minimum. Facebook and Instagram loves accounts that post a lot, that engage a lot with other accounts. That threshold is about 3 to 4 posts per week. Can you post more? Sure. Don't post more than once a day unless you absolutely have to, unless you're like live, you're doing live stories from an event. But once you do more than 1 feed post a day, then you're starting to cannibalize your audience. Your posts will start to compete with each other. Yes. Buffer. Buffer is a really good content scheduling platform. So you can set it and forget it. Another good one, we use this one. I recommend it. Loomly. Loomly, like a weaving loom, but make it an adverb. Got time for one more question, and I'm getting the hook. Yes. Yes. Get rid of it. Dump it. I hate Hootsuite. It's so expensive. No. Loomly, baby. Go to my Instagram profile. Follow me on Instagram and Threads and all the good stuff. In my LinkedIn, in my Instagram profile, I have an affiliate link for Loomly. You can get a discount for getting on Loomly. Follow me on Threads too. Do not sleep on Threads. Anybody on Threads? Threads is the new Twitter. It's even better than Twitter. If you're on Twitter still, get off of it. Get off of it. Don't recommend Twitter at all for a giving circle. Last question and we're done. We got to wrap up. Yes. Yes, reposts help. You can repurpose and repost your content. I don't suggest doing that more frequently than every 2 to 3 months. So I think the question you're asking. Yeah, but definitely repurpose, republish, repost for sure. Thank you, everyone. I hope you got something out of this. Take this back. Do this with your team. Stay in touch with me. If I can be of help to you after this, here's my email. This is going right in my inbox. Nobody else is looking at this for me. Would love to answer your questions. Move along. Enjoy the rest of your conference. Thanks, everyone.